Okay, so I just got in the mail my new hunting knife, and we're going to be doing an open box video of this Montana Knife Company Stone Goat 2.0 knife. Really excited about this knife. Been doing quite a bit of research over the last year. You know, some of these hunting knives, once you get up into the higher quality knives, they get pretty expensive. So I've been doing my homework and trying to find the right knife for me. And really what I was looking for was a good lightweight hunting knife. Something that I can field dress animals with. If I need to use it for other tasks in the field, I can, but primarily something just really high quality that I can use breaking down animals in the field. So this is the knife that I settled on, and I am really excited to check this out. All right, so the packaging looks pretty awesome. Something that you would expect for a knife that costs this much. This company, Montana Knife Company, I mean, they just make stellar knives. Over the last couple years, this company has really blown up and become a very popular knife in the hunting industry, just because of the craftsmanship and the quality of these knives and how sharp they are and how durable they are. The master knife smith at this company, the owner, I think his name is Josh Smith. He just does a fantastic job. So looking at the packaging here, the Stone Goat 2.0, very cool. Here it gives you the dimensions. So it's a 3 5/8 blade length, and it has a paracord handle, something to keep it lightweight. And total weight 1.94 total ounces. The blade thickness is 0.100 blade thickness. This particular version I got in MagnaCut steel, MagnaCut stainless steel, which seems to be a favorite among hunters and knife enthusiasts, just because of the balance that MagnaCut gives you between edge retention, sharpness, durability, how it deals with corrosion, and also how easy it is to be able to resharpen. Some of these other blade steels can be very sharp, kind of like this old knife I have that's made out of carbon steel. But to get another edge on it, it takes a while. You really have to work that material. So MagnaCut is kind of a good balance. Here we have a card. It says made in the USA, another perk of this company. Inspected and packaged by Ray Colby. So they've got people actually inspecting these, making sure they're sharp, making sure everything's up to spec. So love to see that with something this expensive. Little instructional sheet here for knife care and use. Just some cleaning instructions and some things never to do. That's a nice touch. Pretty cool, high quality graphic sticker. It says the Ultralight Stone Goat. So that's pretty cool. I can put that on a Pelican or whatever. And then here we have the knife. And it's wrapped in this kind of cool butcher paper, which is definitely neat. And it's tied with some paracord. So we'll take that off. We'll move this aside. This up here. And here we have the knife. And you tell right away when you put it in your hands how lightweight it is. Comes with this Kydex sheath. Snaps right in there. This has a belt loop where you could put this on the strap of a pack. Definitely really handy, or you can take it off if you want. So I love the option that it comes with the Kydex sheath, because some of these high-end knives, a lot of times they won't come with the Kydex sheath, and I think that's a really nice touch, whether you're going to be carrying it in there or not, it's nice to have that option. So let's take a look at this knife. And it is beautiful. It's the MagnaCut stainless steel. It's a polished finish. And it just seems to be the perfect size. You know, when I was looking at knives, you know, Montana Knife Company really kind of became famous with their Speed Goat knife. And that's been out for a few years now. And it's just so great because of how sharp it is and how lightweight it is. But the thing with the Speed Goat knife is it's much more of a drop point blade. So although it's lightweight and it's you know, it's really sharp, it didn't have much of a belly. So for skinning in particular, a deeper belly is definitely beneficial because you have more blade length as you're skinning the animal out. So that is why they came out with this variation, the Stoned Goat. I think it's kind of a hybrid between the Speed Goat, which is that ultra lightweight drop point blade, and they have another knife, I can't recall the name of it, something Goat. And that one is a much bigger, longer bellied knife, you know, primarily just for skinning. So this was kind of the happy medium in between those two knives, and I think it's just perfect. Definitely beautiful. Really sharp right from the factory. That's great. It does have this little finger guard here, which is nice. Really, really nice. And the handle feels good, which is cool. One thing that I'm noticing, which I would have liked, was a little bit of jimping on the blade there, maybe. We'll have to see if that becomes a problem when this thing becomes bloody and sweaty. Whether some jimping on the back of that would have been really nice, but super nice knife. I can't wait to get this in the field and use it. Field dress some animals with it, and put it to work. So a beautiful thing with Montana Knife Company is you can there's a let me see if I can find it on yeah, so they have something called the Generations Promise, which means if you buy a knife from them, at any time you can send this in to get resharpened. They will rewrap the paracord for you if needed. You can also change the color if you want. And that is all something that they offer with their Generations Promise. So this knife you can keep for a lifetime. This can become an heirloom knife. You can pass it down to family members, your children, whatever. But it seems to me like it's going to be a great knife for me. Definitely one of the bigger reasons why I went with this is also because of how light it is. Right, when you're doing these backcountry hunts like I do, and you're deep in the mountains, you really want to watch your weight as much as possible. And the knife that I had and was using, this is an old knife that my dad got me when I was like 10 years old. He got it at some trade show, and it's an old knife. It's a Sullinger, and you can look, it's falling apart. It just, the button leather just ripped off right now. So you could tell I need a new knife. But it's a great knife. It's an old German hunting knife, and it's carbon steel, which you can tell by the wear. I had this thing out hunting a couple times in rainstorms, and it rusted like crazy. So the corrosion on these carbon steels is not great. They rust. They don't look pretty, which, you know, is okay. But they get, it's a hard steel, so they can be sharpened, and they can be really, really sharp and hold a great edge, which this knife did. But the main reason why I'm replacing it is not that it's, you know, the leather is falling apart and it's kind of just an old knife. This is the weight of it. It's a very heavy knife. I'm going to break out the scale here and just kind of weigh it. So the knife weighs 6 ounces, and I'm going to be carrying it in a sheath. Definitely need a new sheath. This leather is just toast. So in the sheath, 7.3 ounces for this. So it's a pretty heavy knife. Now let's look at the Speedgoat. Let's see if it weighs what they're advertising. 1.7 ounces. Let's see what. Yeah. So this says 1.94 total weight. That may be with the sheath, but this is 1.7 ounces here with that. Let's see here with the sheath. Okay, so the sheath is pretty heavy. I don't know if I'll be carrying this on the strap of my pack, so I may take off this back thing here and just use the Kydex sheath there, and I'm sure that'll take off some weights. But literally, the blade 1.8 ounces versus 6. It's 3 times lighter than that knife, and you may say, oh, 3-4 ounces, that's not a huge deal. But when you start adding this stuff up in the backcountry, these ounces equal pounds, and it definitely makes a big difference. So there you have it. This is the Montana Knife Company Stone Goat 2.0 in MagnaCut. This knife is beautiful. The cost of this knife was $225, so it is an expensive knife. No doubt about it. It's very expensive, but this thing is going to last a lifetime. And rather than buying 5 or 6 cheap knives along the way, why not just buy a high quality knife that anytime you need it professionally sharpened, clean, paracord changed out, you can send it to them and they'll take care of that for you with the Generations Promise. So I'm excited about it. There you have it, the MKC Stone Goat 2.0 in MagnaCut. Thanks for tuning in, guys.